everybody, my name is Cole, aka Trans Spirit Indigo. I am a soul having a human experience and I am transgender. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I wanted to thank every single human being who has subscribed, liked, commented. It means the world to me. Thank you so much for helping this channel to grow. Ah yes, and don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll be notified every time a new video comes up. Let's get into this video, shall we? Today's topic may seem simple, might even seem a little cheesy, but in my humble opinion, it is incredibly important, and that is self-love. I am somebody who has personally, I will say I have struggled with self-love. Now, I think most of us have. Some people say that they've never had issues with self-love. I have definitely struggled with self-love, and I wanted to talk about this. This video, all my videos are for everyone. Some are geared more toward trans people or LGBTQ people, or star seeds, light workers. This video, indigos, this video is for everybody. Just one, self-love. Everybody has got to practice self-love to be the best versions of their self, because you can't be your best version unless you love who you are from the inside out. Was when we don't love who we are, a lot of times we can go through self-destructive behaviors, stuff like that. So when you're doing stuff like that, in my instance, it was drinking very heavily for 8 years. That was not practicing self-love, and therefore it caused a lot of drama, a lot of problems in my life, in all sorts of ways. So self-love is so incredibly important, and although some people might find it to sound cheesy or even annoying, if you're annoyed by the idea of self-love, that could be a trigger of your own lack of self-love. Now, some people might not want to hear that. I know that I would not want to hear this 10 years ago. But the thing was, is 10 years ago, I was very unhappy and very embedded in this whole alcoholic problem. You know, just drinking almost every day to the point I blacked out. Every other angle of my life being out of sorts because of having a drinking problem. So the fact that 10 years ago I would have been irritated or made fun of what I'm saying now kind of proves the point to me that, you know, if you're just laughing at the idea of self-love, it might be a projection of your own lack of self-love. A lot of times people's light, so to say, when they shine their light, a lot of times your light will irritate other people's demons or other people's ego, their issues, whatever you want to call it, different things. But self-love is just so important. I'd say it's everything. Usually I say energy is everything, but self-love is a form of energy, which is everything. Where we vibrate at, where our energy and our frequency is going to just dictate how our lives are, how our everyday life goes. So when we're practicing self-love on a daily basis, we're going to have all that reflect back at us. Like if we're taking care of ourselves, for instance, an example, we're taking care of ourselves, we're eating healthy foods, we're exercising every day. It doesn't have to be some grand triathlon or like some professional athlete, you know, which that's great too. But a lot of us are not professional athletes. Just having that brisk walk or just doing the stretches that you like to do, yoga, anything that's physical and moves your body in motion, getting your body in motion. It's energy in motion, it's movement. So having that form of self-love, that's huge. You're going to see that reflected back to you through ample amounts of energy. You're working out, you're taking care of your body, you feel better. You feel better, if you're older, you feel better sexually, mentally, just all around. So that's important. Self-love, exercise, what you eat, what you consume also is what you're taking in. What are you watching? What are you paying attention to? Are you paying attention to things that are all fear-based and keeping you, worried? That kind of stuff is, to me, it's not a form of self-love. Sometimes we lie to ourselves and say, oh, well, I got to know what's going on and this and that. To a certain extent, yes. But if you're constantly focused on news stories that are just sad, depressing, over and over and over again, and you're choosing to just focus on that every single day, you're going to be in a lower vibrational state. And you're not. Here's the truth. We can't help other people if we're constantly in a low vibrational state ourselves. So some people have argued with me over the years saying, oh, well, if you don't pay attention to that, how are you helping anything? Okay, I can see where you're coming from with that. It's not that I want to, you know how they say bury your head in the sand. It's not that I want to ignore all of the problems in this world. But I don't want to go to the other extreme, which is only paying attention to problems, issues, negative things, and not having that balance. Because we can create a balance to where we are aware of any bad things going on in the world today, but also taking that time for peace, reflection, time in nature. It's all about balance, and that's a huge part of self-love. Self-love includes so many different things. And I know as a trans guy and somebody that grew up in a community that was not very queer, LGBTQ friendly, there was a lot of lacking self-love. There was a lot of, especially with my upbringing through a specific religion, being told that being gay is wrong at a young age and believing that, internalizing that. Well, then you grow up to realize you're gay and it's like this nightmare. And looking back on it all, it's kind of silly to me now, because I would say that if I hadn't been told that at a young age, I don't think I would have gone through a lot of the self-loathing, depression, and self-destructive behavior that I went through. If somebody had told me at 5 years old that being gay was, they just told me what the definition of it is. You know, if one gender identity is attracted to another gender identity, or however they described it to me, and if it was just something that was good and celebrated, which in my opinion is good and should be celebrated, if I'd become aware of this at a young age, I just think it would have all been different. I mean, to me, it's like a no-brainer. It's like, well, yeah, because if I was told at a young age that who I am, which is biologically a female who identifies as a male, a transgender male, and is attracted to females, if I was told that that was perfectly okay at a young age, I never would have started to develop the ideas that something was wrong with me, that I was bad. Because that's and this is for parents out there too watching this, because I'm 36 now, but these ideas were flowing through my head at, I know, like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. For years, my childhood I thought that I was bad. That I was a bad person, that I could burn in hell because of the religion. And that's not good. That's really awful. And that's another big reason I'm talking about it openly and putting it on YouTube, is I'm talking about it because it is bad, and kids shouldn't feel this way. Kids shouldn't feel this way. And if this is part of your religion and this is happening within your family or life, please just think twice about this, because some people, they're so dead set on their religion, like, but this says this, and this religion says this. And just please hear your kids out there, your kids. And we know who we are. Everyone, all of us, human beings in general. On a deep level, and deep inside in our hearts and our souls, we know who we are. So we have to trust our loved ones when they're trying to explain who they are, regardless of what any religion or belief system says. When someone is expressing to you who they are, please hear them out. Okay, that's my rant. Thank you, though. I just needed to say that, as I just feel like, because I've gotten to this part of my life where I'm older, I haven't been a child in a really long time, I can reflect on it more. And remembering that those were my thought patterns as a young child. I'm bad, this is wrong, this is not good. It developed into very low self-esteem. And it's very unfortunate, because that shouldn't happen. That should never have happened. And it shouldn't happen to any of you either. To no one. I don't care what time period you were born in, raised in, where you are on this planet. Nobody deserves to feel like there's something wrong with them because of who they are. Regardless of what whatever that is. We should always feel comfortable to be ourselves. Self-esteem is rooted in believing in ourselves. It's hard to believe in yourself when there's a lot of static like that, or you're told at a young age that, you shouldn't be this, you shouldn't be that. So for me, as a grown transgender male, I've realized that I've had to go back and do inner child work. There's meditations for it, guided meditations, speaking with your inner child. Because the inner child, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, whatever. Everyone is dealing with their inner child. Those parts of people that are wounded and like issues in your life, I've come to find it usually comes back to your inner child. Things that aren't going well in your life, things that you feel could be handled differently, a lot of it is your inner child trying to heal. So the inner child needs to be healed, taken care of, and feel good for us to feel good, for our self-esteem to feel good. Self-love. So taking care of that inner child, doing what you need to do. It's basic needs too. Like the inner child wants to know that he or she or they are taken care of by you. And if you're at a younger age, you're like 14, 15, 13, 12, and you're like, whoa, I was just a kid not that long ago. It's something you could think about now, because as we grow older, that's something that we all have is the inner child. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent about the inner child, but it does have to do with self-love. Some of the best ways that I think we can practice self-love, I was mentioning earlier, like the way, what you eat, exercise, taking care of our bodies, mind, spirit. So meditating, whatever kind of prayer or spiritual practice that you gravitate toward. And if you don't have any kind of specific spiritual practice, maybe it's just what you love to do. You like to go painting in the park and or draw or make music or write, or you love to design things, or you love to spend time with your family, this and that. Like doing things that are good for our soul is a form of practicing self-love. Being a workaholic, it's good to make means for yourself and to build foundations, but working too much, or playing too much, partying too much, anything in excess, anything, too much of anything really isn't good. It needs to be in balance. Even exercising, too much exercising can hurt someone physically. So everything in balance. I would say that would be the biggest thing with the self-love is balance. So just having that balance, deciding what is healthy, what you want to do in life. Having self-love is doing what you want to do. You never want to do something to please other people. We've all have done it, but then we learn from it. We realize it doesn't work. It's just like how when a person will try to force somebody to get sober and stop drinking alcohol. If that person doesn't want to stop drinking alcohol, they're going to have a very difficult time staying sober if you're trying to get sober for somebody else. You have to do it for you. The self-love has got to be for you. You got to do what you want every day in life, the career you want, the school you want, whatever you want. You got to do it for you and not for other people to make them happy. And this can be a tricky one. It's not always easy. And sometimes, a lot of times, most of the time, we have to face our fears and go out of our comfort zone. Because, like they say, a lot of times, everything your heart desires is on the other side of the comfort zone. And you just work through it. And then you're there and you're like, how did I get here? Oh, I faced my fears. I practiced self-love. I went out of the comfort zone. I love you all. Thank you so much for stopping by. And I'm excited to put out some more videos for you. And again, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification. Have a fantastic day, night, morning, wherever you are in this now moment. Much love.